Asia is home to some very deep-rooted traditional arts, but there's a lot of experimentation here too. In Hong Kong, where the cross-cultural trade winds blow strong, there's a very unusual and avant-garde theater troupe. As if the name Zuni Icosahedron isn't abstract enough, how about the setting? The plot. Or the words. What words? Better ask the director.
Yeah, I use very little language, but I use lots of sound, people's sound. And I think when people use their voice, the sound, without the text, it's deeper, closer to their heart. I hate to, make arts a very functional thing, that art is for educating people or propaganda or for doing entertain or anything of that sort. I think in a way we are just exploring and trying to figure a new way to redefine what's not in our real world, which is the stage, which has lots of open space, which has lots of open possibilities.
For 14 years, Danny Jung has been puzzling his audience with works that raise a lot of questions. In his latest production, Feeding the Hungry Ghosts, many of the questions are about Hong Kong.
What happened to us? Why are we the way we are? Why are we in this situation? What is going to happen next? And who's going to lead us? These are all the questions that will be asked.
The title of this performance is derived from the Chinese Hungry Ghost Festival, when people seek to appease the wandering spirits of the world.
I really don't believe in ghosts, but I think there's a ghost inside ourselves. Each one of us has a ghost inside us. And of course, when you talk about ghosts, you're talking about insecurity, you talk about fear. And when you try to communicate with your ghost, you're trying to understand your insecurity about your fear.
What fears, you ask? Well, this scene, derived from an old Chinese opera, depicts a person groping in the dark, a metaphor, Jung says, of Hong Kong trying to find its way.
If we put the context into Hong Kong, then my concern about the unsettled spirits, there are two kinds. One, of course, probably those people who die in the Opium War, because that's the formation of Hong Kong. And the other kind of unsettling spirits are the people nowadays. We don't know what exactly is going to happen.
Jung's unconventional approach has raised questions about his freedom to stage performances after China takes over Hong Kong in 1997. But he feels this kind of art is exactly what China needs.
Geographically, it's on the edge of China. I think on the cultural aspect, it's also on the edge. But for the sake of arts, artistic development and cultural development, the edge is more important than the center. The center is always about stability and prosperity. But on the edge is where you start expanding and developing new frontier.
The staging itself is something of a new frontier, done with old props. A table and two chairs, for example, are the classic setting for Chinese opera.
And I try to make a variation of it. And of course, when we see a table, we think about negotiation. We think about signing of the agreement. When we see a table, we see conflicts. When we see two chairs, we see different roles playing. We see conflicting roles. Depends on how you put the chairs.
And judging from where he put these chairs, the audience would seem to be left dangling. A week of superlatives highlighted the Singapore Food Festival this past week.